What's up, guys? It's Lane Sam here from Ugly Sofa Gaming. Today is episode 16 of Tutorials Played Badly. I couldn't remember
what we were doing.
No. What are we doing? Today we're doing connectors and physics. Physics and connectors are vital to making an environment feel real and responsive. Here you'll find out about assembling with connectors and using physics. You'll also make friends with the grid. Oh, not the grid. Not the grid.
What's wrong with the grid?
You'll see.
This tutorial is all about connectors.
The grid is very useful, but it's not perfect.
What's that in the middle?
Connectors join objects together in a way that lets them move. We're going to use them to help Connie get to Cuthbert. First things first, though, we need to be precise when using connectors. So let's turn on the grid snap guide. That way, everything will line up properly. So, go to the assembly menu and open the guides section.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the last tutorial by Media Molecule we've got to do, other than the masterclasses and the move controller tutorials. We'll be doing the move tutorial ones after this. We're probably going to leave the masterclasses for a week or so after launch because we need to get a better grip of creation SLs before we do those. Or they are masterclasses.
It's best if you leave the grid size at 1. Now, let's see.
There's going to be more, isn't there, after release?
Quite possibly.
The best way
I haven't confirmed that, but I'd expect there might be, yeah.
To play the scene and see for ourselves. But instead of switching over to play mode, we can start time in edit mode by clicking R3.
I haven't got a grid on. How do I?
Well, this is odd. The bridge has fallen down, but the second platform is still floating in place. Why is one object floating while the other is
Go press R3.
Click L3.
L3.
To
R3.
rewind time. Let's check the bridge's tweak menu. Remember, tweak menus allow us to see and change the settings for objects.
Now L3 to
in edit
rewind.
mode.
Oh, I was just wondering
Hover
why I
your
couldn't
rim
see a
over
grid.
the bridge.
Right
Hold
there.
L1
Yeah,
and
now I
press
can
the
see a
square
grid.
button to open its tweak menu. Tweak menus differ depending on what sort of object you're tweaking. The bridge is a sculpture.
Ain't that the tweak?
Sculptures are pretty complex things, and their
Yes.
tweak menus have lots of pages.
Tweak, tweak, tweak. Take a drink every time he says
Use your
tweak.
imp to select the different tabs at the
I had a
top.
drink. I'm really thirsty.
Maybe we'll find something on the physical properties page to tell us why the bridge is falling down. Its icon is a Newton's cradle, like one of those desk ornaments where the metal balls bash into each
Yes, we
other.
know what
I
a
know what a
Newton's cradle
Newton's
is.
cradle is. Patronize us.
This
We're
page
smart.
contains the sculpture's physical properties and attributes. There are lots of buttons and sliders here, but the one we're interested in is the top one. Aha! I thought so. Someone's gone and switched on the movable option. Okay, I admit it. It was me. Well, it wouldn't
Meant to
be
be
much
on
of an
Sam.
adventure if Connie could just stroll across the bridge, would it?
No, if you
Making
turn it off,
something movable
she could stroll
means
across
it
the bridge.
becomes physical. That means that forces in the scene,
No,
like
it's-
collisions,
she can walk across the
imp,
bridge with
or
it
in this
is
case,
movable.
gravity, can
No,
move it.
it's movable,
Luckily,
and so that's why
we
it's
can
falling
stop the
down.
bridge from falling
Falling
down
down 'cause it's
by
not
adding
connected to
a
anything.
connector to
It's
it,
falling down because
which
gravity is
exactly
on.
what we're
Oh
doing
look,
in the
we're
next
going to be adding a
step,
connector
once
to
you're
it.
ready to move on.
Look, I've turned off movable. If I go into play mode, it doesn't fall down anymore. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter that it's not connected to anything.
But that's not the point of this tutorial. He said we're trying to make a scene that looks more realistic and responsive.
But you're shaking your head at me saying that if I turn off movable, it won't fall down. It won't fall
No,
down.
I wasn't saying that wasn't what would happen. I'm saying that's not what we should be doing. There's a difference.
You.
Again, these tutorials are not about getting to the finish line. They're about the journey.
I know this.
Okay.
So, all
But
we
I
need
was
to keep
just
the bridge
saying,
from
we could just
falling
I was
turn it off
just
and it
saying,
won't
bro, I
fall
was just
down,
saying.
And you were
Just any
disagreeing
piece
You
with
need to be
me.
doing less saying and more listening. What's the
I'm
guy saying now?
listening.
What's he saying
I'm
now?
listening.
We'll
Dream
need to attach the
shaping.
other end to
This is
something
cool.
unmovable, like the blue cylinder above the bridge. Start by moving your imp with the left and right sticks until you can see the top of the bridge and the bottom of the blue cylinder. Make sure time is rewound. Click L3 if it isn't. Now open the Assembly menu and select the 3 connected squares to open the Gadgets menu. Look for the button with the joint icon, which will take
Yeah,
you
we
to
haven't
the
actually
connectors.
taught us on half of this stuff, have we?
No.
You can move the menu with your imp by grabbing it with R2. Select the
need to.
string button. Its icon is the 2 circles connected by a wavy line. You'll see that a string connector appears on the tip of your imp. Now let's get connecting. You should always make the first connection from the object that won't move. We call this the parent object. In this case, it's the blue cylinder, but it could be something else, like the frame of a door.
Did you tweak the thing so it's movable
See the
again?
yellow dot on the
Yes.
cylinder?
Good.
I put that there to show the best place for a
Not a
connection.
complete donut tool.
So hover over it and press R2 or X to connect the string.
Donut tool.
Yeah.
That's the phrase you're going with.
The grid
That's what I'm
snap
going
guide
with.
will
I've got a
have
few
line
others in
spots
mind.
exactly with the yellow spot. When you move your imp now, you'll notice it's tethered to the cylinder. It also has a blue gizmo on the end of it. Now let's stretch that string down to the bridge, all the way to the blue dot. The blue gizmo connects the string to the movable object, which we call the child object. Hover over the blue dot. See how the grid snaps it into line?
Like a purple Swiss cheese.
Let's connect the string there with R2 or X.
Did it
If your bridge
already.
isn't in line, just make sure that time is rewound. Now that the blue gizmo is connected, you can press the circle button to unequip the string connector from your imp. And there you have it. The cylinder and the bridge are connected. Click R3 to start time and check that it's working.
Yep, now it's hanging from a thing that's hanging from nothing.
Well,
that makes
it looks
more
a bit
sense.
wobbly, but it's nothing Connie can't handle. Switch over to play mode and have a go.
It does make more sense because when you were making your level, you could set it the camera so you can't see what it's hanging to. You just know that it's hanging.
When you can get Connie across the bridge to the second platform, return to edit mode and rewind time with L3.
I shan't.
I shan't be playing your games today.
Time to get Connie over to the third platform. So, the small pink platform and the
I
blue
was like,
step aren't
what are you
much
talking
different
about?
right now.
I can just pick up Connie and drag her there.
Will move
I
backwards and
could.
forwards. She can hop
Just
onto
moved
it
this
and
platform
cross
to the
over.
middle.
To do that, we'll need a connector called a piston. Go
Okay.
to the assembly menu, then the gadgets menu.
Spider. Piston.
You'll find the piston in the connectors section.
Piston.
It's somewhere near the middle and looks like
Don't be a child.
a piston. Now that it's equipped on your imp,
Piston.
you can start connecting. First, press R2 or X to join it to the blue step, which is unmovable.
Oh, that's
so it's the
fast.
parent
I have to
object.
tweak that.
I've put a yellow dot
Well,
on
piston,
it
not
to show you
slogan.
the best place to connect
What?
it. Next,
You
connect the
heard me.
blue end to the
It's got a
child
tweak
object,
menu.
which
That's
is the
handy.
floating platform.
What's this?
See how grid
Goes
snap
per
keeps
minute.
the connector
Let's turn that
perfectly
down.
straight. Hover over the blue
Oh,
dot,
just
then
something
press
weird.
R2 or X.
Delete the wire. Triangle to delete the wire.
Undo.
Remember,
Spider,
the child
string.
object is the part that needs to be
No,
able to
definitely a
move.
piston.
So when you join a connector to its child,
Let me read what the thing
that
says.
object will
Stop it.
automatically become movable.
Highlight it. Go
When
onto
you've
it.
placed the piston,
Adjust
press
how many
circle
times
to
the connector will
unequip it.
complete its range of motion in a minute.
Click R3
So if you
to
turn
test the
that
connector.
down, the piston will go slower.
That's
That's
what I'm
more
trying to do.
like it. The piston is now moving the platform back and forth.
Keep a steadier hand. I don't know what to say.
Rewind time with L3.
Oh, let me grab it.
Press
You
down.
might not be too happy
on the
if we make
D-pad.
her jump on that.
Oh, okay,
So
that's.
let's calm the piston down a bit.
You can, like, grab
open
it
the
and slide
piston's
it.
tweak menu. Hover anywhere over
Catching
it,
up.
hold L1 and press square. If the tweak menu blocks your view of the piston, you can grab it and move it with R2. This white gizmo
Much better.
shows the maximum length and speed of the piston. You can change the speed by adjusting the slider with the clock icon. That's the cycles per minute. Grab the slider by holding X over it with your imp and reduce the value. The further to the left you move, the faster the number will change. It doesn't need to be exact. Somewhere around 15 should do it.
Nah, I'm having it on 7.
If you want to get a more precise number, you can adjust the slider with the up and down directional buttons instead.
Alright, what's this one gonna be?
Notice how it's slowed down now.
It's gonna be like a bolt.
R3 to see it moving the platform.
Is that a thing?
When you're happy with the speed,
Slider,
close the tweak
string.
menu with the close button.
Ah,
or use
bolt.
L1
Motor
and
bolt.
circle.
That could be just a faster bolt.
Then rewind time with L3.
There's just 3 dots there. That's way too complicated.
Time
My
to
mum
switch
always told me I must never ride a motorbolt.
and test out the scene so
Okay.
far.
Too dangerous. Even if you're wearing your helmet, you can always
Make
crash.
sure the platform
People
is
don't
moving
keep their
too
eyes
fast
open for
for you to jump
motorbolts.
on.
Sure.
You can always go back to edit mode and tweak the piston until you're happy with it.
Made it.
Once Connie has made it all the way across, rewind time in edit mode and move
Nope.
on to the next step.
The reason he asked you to rewind is so that at the end of the level, you've got like a little
There's
mini
just
level to
one
play.
more gap
I
for Connie
know,
to
but at the
cross.
same time, I could
We
have to
have a
redo
plank
that one and that
and a
one
step
each
to
time
attach
if
it
I wanted
to.
to just test out this one.
For the plank to drop down,
Meant to show you
we'll
at the
need
end,
to
like,
pivot
look,
like a
look at this level you made. Now you
Which
can
means
go and
we'll
make
need
your
to use a
own.
bolt connector
I
this
understand
time.
rewinding it after you've done the last
into the
one. You can go
connector
back and
section
play
in
it,
the
but
assembly
after
menu.
every one, it's a bit much.
Select the icon with the nut on it. That's the bolt connector. Now you can connect it just like you did with the string and the piston. And because I'm so nice, I've placed some yellow and blue dots and a sneaky new purple one so that you can see where to make the connections.
Where am I
They're
placing it?
quite close
Wait,
together this
patience.
time, so move in closer for a good view.
Probably the
Remember,
yellow one. Right?
you can
Little
use the
closer.
grab cam on the R1 button to zoom in close.
Always forget the grab cam.
As always,
Don't need it.
connect the parent
do?
object first, the yellow dot.
Much faster than slowly zooming in.
Then you can connect the child object, the blue dot.
Oh, it's got a purple bit too.
The grid snap will keep the bolt in a straight line so you don't have to worry about it. Once it's all connected, you can unequip the bolt connector using the circle button.
Circle.
You've probably noticed that there's a purple gizmo halfway along the bolt. That's the pivot which the bolt rotates around.
Pivot.
3 to see how it all works.
Pivot. Pivot.
Well, that's not right. It looks like we'll need
I
to
like it.
reposition the pivot to get the plank moving correctly. Click
You know
F3
someone's
to
made a
rewind
platformer with
time
these
and
things.
Reset the plank. Now go ahead and grab the purple gizmo with R2. Move it so it's by the purple dot. While you're grabbing the pivot gizmo with R2, press triangle to align it to the grid. Now grab it with L2
Oh
and
yeah, we're
use the
supposed to be using
sticks to
grids, weren't
rotate
we?
it so its axis goes through the bottom of the plank. The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly. The child object,
Triangle.
in this case the plank, will rotate around that axis.
That makes
Once
sense.
it's all
Okay.
lined up, switch over to play mode to test
That
it
doesn't
out.
work.
Nope. You've not done it right.
If you've done it correctly, the plank
Nice.
should balance upright. Connie will need to
Where
push
did
the
the
plank
axis have to
down.
go?
Grab it again
Yes,
and
of
just
course,
experiment.
the
Pause the
plank
guy.
isn't long enough.
Oh,
Pause the. Oh my god.
Oh,
Pause the
well.
guy.
Switch back.
where's the guy?
Grab it.
Grab it.
Press triangle.
Triangle. It's just nothing.
Undo again. Undo. Okay, drag the purple to the purple.
Purple to the purple.
Let go. Now press. Go on, highlight the purple. Don't press anything. Did you press it?
No.
Okay, grab it.
Grab it.
Triangle.
Triangle.
It's going to be the same thing again, isn't it?
Rotate. No. Let's see what his look like.
Once it's all lined up, switch over to play mode to test it out. Once it's all lined up, guide will help you line it up exactly. The child object, in this case the plank,
You need to rewind
will
more and
rotate
follow what
around
he's
that
doing.
axis.
He's just like snapping it to the thing.
It's not what he's doing. Because his blue isn't even connected.
It got shoved. Okay. One more. One more.
To align it to the grid.
Okay.
Now grab it with L2 and use the sticks to rotate it so its axis goes through the bottom of the plank. The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly.
You need to rewind because it's already... Alright.
Grab it with...
Have it so the camera's actually facing it.
To align it to the grid. Now grab it with L2 and use the sticks to rotate it so its axis goes through the bottom of the plank. The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly. The child object, in this case the plank, will rotate around that axis. Once it's all lined up, switch over to play mode to test it
It's
out.
just not staying there. There we go. Try that.
If
That's
you've
right.
done it correctly, the plank should balance up. Connie will need to push the plank down, unless, of course, the plank isn't long enough. Oh well, switch back to edit mode and rewind time. We'll sort out the plank in the next step. To make sure Connie can reach the last platform, we could always make the plank longer, but that's a completely different tutorial. Instead, let's try restricting the bolt's movement. We can do that by giving it an angle limit. First, you'll need to bring up the bolt's tweak menu. So hover over any part of the bolt, hold L1 and press square.
Okay.
You should see the Use Limits button about halfway down. Select it with X. And look at that. 3 handles have appeared. 2 pale yellow ones and a longer pale blue one. The yellow ones set the range of movement, which is represented by the transparent arc between them. We need to move one of these yellow handles so it's just a little bit left of vertical. It should look like an 11 o'clock position. Now move the other yellow handle to a 3 o'clock position. If your handle doesn't line up exactly, just press triangle while you're grabbing it. This will realign the handle to the grid. The blue handle represents the position of the child object, so you need to line it up with the plank in the 12 o'clock position. Press triangle to realign the handle to the grid if necessary.
Realign to grid.
Triangle.
There we go.
You can close the tweak menu now and head into play mode to test the scene.
Oh,
If
this
everything's
works.
working correctly, Connie should be able to reach Cuthbert.
Oh, thank God.
And if you feel like experimenting, you can try out some other connector types.
Nah, let's get the hell out of
See
here.
what you come up with.
Run.
Then, when you're done editing the scene, go through the door in play mode.
That's episode 15. That is all the core tutorials. We will join you next time for the move tutorials. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We are Ugly Surfer Gaming and we upload new videos Monday to Friday from Dreams Early Access. If you like our content, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share the video on your favourite corner of the internet. Any one of those things really helps us out. Thank you very much.